Okay, you guys, I got a scratchy throat because it's very early in the morning. This is crazy. First of all, thank you so much for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. Please go ahead and like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to be reminded of all the videos I upload. Excuse me. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to the ones who have been with me from day one. Thank you and welcome to all of the ones that are coming. You guys, I am doing all that I can for this Vlogtober. I've actually been up since about 4 o'clock for some reason, unknown reason. I'm unable to sleep, but God knows the plans. So anyway, what we're doing this morning is we're doing another reaction video. And this particular person that I'm doing the reaction video on is not one of the normal persons that people actually do reaction videos on. This is a pretty big YouTuber. This is not, I repeat, this is not a hate reaction at all. This is a reaction video that I believe will help the infamous 3. The young lady that I am talking about is Toni Daley, okay? Toni Daley is this very educated YouTuber. She has businesses. She's very successful. She has 2 channels. One channel is Toni Daley. The other channel is Toni and the Boy. The boy is her husband, who is Caucasian. Toni is African American. She and the boy, that's the way she refers to him, has been together for 20 years. They've only been married for 6, but together for 20. Resided in Canada together. And the reason I say resided is the boy had an affair on Toni sometime this year, and I'm not sure if he confessed it to her or she found out. Either way, she forgave him and wanted to work on their relationship, and they decided to work on their relationship. Very successful YouTubers. Cars. They own a house together. Just looks like a really nice family. Very good friends with another big YouTuber, Gabe and Babe. I'm sure you guys are aware of those YouTubers as well. But this Toni Daley, the reason I'm doing a reaction on her, and this is the craziest thing, you guys, I don't know how she came up in my recommendations. She was not I wasn't subscribed to her at all. However, my daughter had told me about her years ago, and I think I watched her videos years ago. But there was a recommendation. She does makeup. She does a lot of natural hairstyles. Really cutie pie, you guys. Really a very cute lady. But the reason I'm doing the reaction on her is this. The boy left her. He just up and left her, guys. He left her with no notice. He left her with his name on the cars. He left the cars. He left the house. He just left her. Left her with all the responsibilities. Didn't even stay in Canada to work the stuff out, to work the divorce out. He just left her to take care of everything. To make a very long story short, she is broken. Broken to pieces. This woman is on YouTube in front of the camera expressing her grief, her tears, her pain. And one thing that really, really gets me about her is she keeps saying, what? Where am I going? I'm going to the lawyer's office to talk about abandonment of my marriage, because that's what he did. He just abandoned the marriage. They have a dog together. He abandoned Marley. Marley is the dog. And you could hear the dog in the background whining because he wants his daddy back. Y'all, it is the saddest thing. But the reason I'm doing the reaction is because this is something that happens every single day. And when I did my reaction video the other day about Olivia, about Jasmine, I think it was Jasmine when I did it, I said that relationships, I don't care if you are just going with someone, you've been with the person 50 years, you're married to someone, we have to want to be in it together. You and the other person has to want to be in it together. It doesn't matter if it's heterosexual, it doesn't matter if it's bisexual, whatever the relationship is, you both have to want it together. Now, I do have to say this, I do have to give this disclaimer. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with anyone's choices of relationships. That's between you and God. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging anybody. I'm not saying anything. That's why I said whatever the relationship could be. It could be two females. It could be two males. However you choose to have your relationships, that's between you and God. But I'm just talking about what we need to give in relationships. You know, you never want to be obviously in a relationship where you're giving 80 and he or she is only giving 20. I did see a lot of stuff about Toni Daley on Lipstick Alley. And I don't really care for Lipstick Alley, but when I did a search of Toni Daley actually on Google, because I believe I believe the reason I remember her is because she sells Afrocentric jewelry, earrings and scarves. I believe that's how I remember her. My daughter is into Afrocentric earrings, scarves and things of that nature. And I believe that's how I remember Toni. That's a part of her business. But I got on this marathon of just watching her actually the last couple of days because it's so real, you know. I mean, what she's going through, I've already experienced. But I think it's a good thing for Olivia to watch. I think it would be a good thing for Chrissy to watch. I think it would be a good thing for also Olivia. Not so that you can cry or put yourself in that person's predicament because they're already in there, but at least it will show them how to continue to move on, how to move on. The difference between Toni and those three women is that Toni doesn't have any children. The only thing she has, a responsibility she has, is taking care of the dog. And as much as I hate to say this because people look at dogs as family, you can always take a dog to the SPCA, you know, for someone to adopt them. I don't think that's anything that she's going to do because Toni seems to really love her little Marley. But you know, you guys, it's a really, really, really sad thing to see a woman so broken down because she does have the support of her friends. She does. She has the support of her friends. I believe the boy, I don't know what his name was, but he left her, I believe, on the Tuesday morning. And by Tuesday night, one of her very best friends was in town helping to take care of her. They're there cooking her dinner. They're spending a lot of time with her. Many are sending her flowers because, you guys, this woman is broken. I'm not promoting her page or anything, but I mean, if you want to take a look at it, it is Toni Daley. Just go and look at it, and especially if you're somebody that's going through, like I said, you know, in the comments to her, you know, she questions herself a lot as to why she is telling all her business, why she's, you know, why is she uploading these videos, letting people know what's going on in her life. And, you know, the one thing that I can say is it's her reality. It's her reality. I know when I went through that really big breakup with my ex-husband, it was hard on me. You know, not only the fact that I had 3 children, but it was hard on me emotionally and mentally. Mentally, you are beating yourself up because you're trying to ask yourself, what happened? How did I get here? Why did this happen to me? What can I do to correct it? He said, I said. You know, you are constantly questioning yourself, wondering what you did wrong and how you can possibly fix it. Now, she has not touched on whether or not if he came back, if she would accept him back or whatever. But she did mention that she has looked on his Instagram, kind of lurked on his Instagram and seen that I guess he removed all of the pictures of them, but he did put himself laying on a beach. So what it seems like to me after 20 years is he got tired. I mean, this lady is 40 years old. So they've been together 20 years, married 6. So they were, I guess, dating, boyfriend, girlfriend, live-in, or whatever, for 14 years. Big no-no. Big, huge no-no. Let me tell you something, ladies, okay? People say marriage is not for me. You know, marriage is just paper, all that rigmarole, all that junk. Let me tell you something. If a man loves you, okay, and you desire to be married, he's going to put that on paper, okay? He's going to put that on paper. Now, I know that there are a lot of rules, laws, and regulations and things per state indicating common law, because you can be with somebody a long time. I think it's over 7 years, and that person can be common law, your husband or your wife. But I just don't see why anybody would want to be with anybody 14 plus years, and when I introduce you, I'm introducing you as my boyfriend, or I'm introducing you as my man after 14 years. I just don't understand that. Eventually they did get married, you know, they did become husband and wife, but I don't know. I don't know. I've had a breakup, so God knows I'm not, had a few breakups, but one breakup in a marriage, and God knows I'm not judging her, by no means, judging their relationship by no means, because I don't know the full relationship. All I know is what is being told right now. But it's very, very sad. It's sad to see a woman. You guys know what? It's sad to see a woman so broken. And especially because of the fact that I've been there, especially because I know what it feels like to be broken. Let me tell you guys a little bit about my relationship, you know, because I realize that I don't talk about my relationship a whole bunch, but I will tell you guys and share a little bit. Let me see, check the clock. It's 15 minutes in. I literally met my husband at the library. I was going to the library, and I was going to print out some papers. I had an appointment later on that evening. I had some stuff going on, and so I had an appointment. I needed some paperwork. And actually, when I went into the library, I seen in my peripheral this young man. I wasn't really paying him any attention because at this particular time, I had just gotten out of a relationship with someone, and it wasn't a really strong relationship. It was still a growing relationship. I wasn't in love with the person, but it just seemed like nothing was going to ever go right. You know, I date somebody for 6 months, and then that person act a donkey, and then I'm done. And then, so I really, honestly and truly, prior to meeting my husband, was just dating. I found myself on Tagged, the dating site, and I met people, but nothing panned out, you know, from that. I did meet one person who lived in a city that a couple of ways up from me, like 40 minutes away, and he was a nice man, but he had a baby's mama, and in my heart, I knew that they were still having relations, so I had to let that go. So when I met my husband, who is my husband now, there was one person actually that I had been seeing, and he was talking marriage, and this was actually my second time dating him, but I knew he was not the one. Now, he did help me with my son, you know, hired my son because he had a business. He did help me financially. He bought me my first iPhone. I mean, he was a really nice person and helped to take care of me and my children. But in my heart, I knew he wasn't the one. And we know that. I mean, you know, we're smart women. So anyway, long story short, back to the library story with my now husband, Jax. I was going into the library, and like I said, I noticed him. He complimented me on my dress. I told him, oh, well, thank you. You know, my sister gave it to me, but I still had not looked at him. Much happens. You not only see the soul, but sometimes you know, the lust comes about, and it's just too much going on with the eyes. The eyes are just too much, you know. That's why when I look at my husband's eyes now, it's just amazing because there's so much love, you know. But long story short, I came out of the library and he was still out there. Library, you guys, and when I came out, he was still out there, and I did notice him, but once again, still didn't look. Went to my car, put my purse on the back of the car to pull my keys out, and when I did that, I got in the car and I reversed out. And when I reversed out, I seen somebody running to my car. Had the window cracked a little bit. And he was like, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second? And I looked over, and still, you guys, I mean, I don't know what was going on with me, but I still didn't see, I still couldn't remember. All I seen is that he was a light-skinned young man, and he had really pretty curly hair. And so I was like, okay. And so anyway, long story short, we talked, and he said that he'd like to talk to me, and so I gave him my phone number, and I told him I had an appointment, but that he could call me later on. And he asked me how long would my appointment be, which I was like, wow, you sure asking a whole bunch, bruh. But anyway, I said it'll probably be about an hour, and my mother actually went to the appointment with me. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all know an hour later that man called me, and we have been together ever since. When he first came to my house, he drove up in a red BMW. He was dressed nice. At this time, as he was coming up, I noticed his hair. He smelled good. He looked good. And I looked at his eyes. And we were in my living room having a glass of wine. And he had the most beautiful eyes that I had ever seen in my entire life. But I don't want to get all into it because we'll be on here forever, because I could talk about Jax forever. But I just want to tell you guys, I went through problems with my kids not liking him, problems with drama for so many years. Him and I knew we weren't going to make it, but we did. And you know what, you guys? We have been together a total of 7.5 years, married for 5, because I married my husband 2 years after I met him. We were talking about marriage the first day we got on the phone. We were talking about marriage, not necessarily marrying each other because we didn't know where it was going, but we were talking about the fact that we wanted to be married again and what we had experienced in our past relationships. But I've been with my husband ever since the first day that I actually talked to him on the phone. I have not been with anybody else, and I love him to pieces. We have a great relationship. I can talk to him about anything. Back to Toni, I just feel really, really sad for her, because when you're in a relationship with someone and the communication stops, that's when you know it's a problem. When the communication stops, that's when you know it's a problem. When you're quiet, when you wake up in the morning and you have to force somebody to say hello, that's when you know it's a problem. When they leave out of the house and not tell you when they're going or where they're going, that's when you know it's a problem. When the affection stops, that's when you know it's a problem. When things become forced, when your significant other is this wonderful person like my husband, and y'all, yes, I am bragging, who brings me coffee every morning or brings me oatmeal or something like that. When that stops, that's when you know it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? The thing about a marriage and a relationship, it's a give and take. We do things for one another, but there have to be signs to show you that something is going on. And I'm not blaming Toni. I don't know what happened in their marriage. I don't know what happened in the breakdown of their marriage. All I know is I see a beautiful, beautiful black woman who is completely and utterly broken. I just wish her the best. But I think that a lot of people need to really, really, I mean, you guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not a relationship expert. I'm the first one to tell you I've had some horrible relationships, you guys. I've been in relationships where people attempted to try to physically abuse me. I've been in relationships where I was emotionally abused, verbally abused. Yes, indeed, I have. Thank God I was able to come out of them, and I came out of them shining. And the wounds and the scars that I have had are healed now. But in the area of a relationship, when things begin to change, when the atmosphere is no longer the pleasant atmosphere as it was, when he's in one room and you're in the other, and it just seems like there's distance, that is the time to communicate. That is the time to talk. I know there are some times when I'm in the dining room at the table and I'm doing my work and my husband is here in the room, or maybe he's in the living room. That distance I understand. But when my husband wakes up, or I wake up and my husband is really, really quiet or something, you know, I always say, you know, is there something going on? Is there something we need to talk about? You know, you live and you learn in relationships. But when you notice that something is not on track, when you notice things are going to the left or the right and not going on that straight path, when you notice something a little different, that's the time to ask questions. That's the time to get involved. I feel so completely sorry for Toni Daley. I wish her the very best in everything. But you guys, go ahead and take a look at it. Go ahead and take a look at it. I wish that she had answers. I wish that he wouldn't have left her like that. I think that when you're going through that type of sorrow, that type of pain, will not fix it to know why, but it would help it. You know, it would help it, because if she does get into another relationship, and she will, she's absolutely gorgeous, 40 years old with the body of a 20-year-old. At least if she knew what the problem was going into another relationship, if she chooses to have one, she won't, hopefully, make those same mistakes. And it may not even be mistakes. It may just be something that the boy didn't like. You know, maybe it was something that the boy got tired of. Whatever the case may be. I mean, she's black and he's Caucasian. You know, maybe he wants the Caucasian woman. Who knows, you know? I don't know, but I just feel really, really sorry for her. You guys go and check her out. I mean, I've subscribed because I like her content, not necessarily the crying and the grieving process, but I do like her content as far as what she's talking about well up to before this started. So go ahead and put your comments in the comment section. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to be reminded of the videos that I upload. This is Saturday morning. I pray that each and every one of you has a wonderful and blessed Saturday. And be encouraged. Be encouraged. Whatever it is you're going through, trust me. Joy will come in the morning. Trouble does not last always. And guess what? It may rain, but then comes the rainbow. I'll talk to you all real soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.